Functions of Venus. Astrologer Aditya Guruji. Venus attains more power or exaltation in Pisces and gets weakened or debilitated in Virgo. There is a contradiction in the status of Venus. He gains lot of strength in the house of his bitter enemy while loses his strength totally in the house of his very close friend. I have explained about this earlier. For those who do not know, please think why. Precise degree-wise analysis of exaltation debilitation indicates that Venus would be with an exalted status only up to 27 degrees in Pisces. In the last 3 degrees he does not have the strength equivalent to that of exaltation, which means, at the far end of the zodiacal wheel in the sign of Pisces, that is between 357 to 360 degrees, Venus is not in exaltation. At the same time, he does not have an ownership status too. Venus would be having a strength akin to Trisanku, famous mythological character who could not reach the heaven, neither could return back to earth, which is neither exaltation nor its equivalent. To put it more accurately, Venus does not give results of exaltation when placed in Vargotama in the 4th pada of Revathi star. I have noticed this aspect in some of the horoscopes. Venus would attain the Mool Trikona status, which is considered only next to exaltation, in Libra, and ownership status in Taurus. In the houses owned by Mercury and Saturn like Gemini, Capricorn and Aquarius he would have a friendly status. As Sun and Moon are considered to be his enemies, in the Cancer and Leo houses he would hold an inimical status and would lose his strength. This could be ascribed as the loss of strength while traveling towards the debilitated state. In Aries, Scorpio and Sagittarius he would hold a status below that of friendship but higher than that of an enemy, or equal status or strength. As under any circumstance, if the planet is in Vargotama gains the status equivalent to ownership, it is indeed beneficial for Venus to attain Vargotama in any horoscope. As indicated earlier, in any horoscope, the natural benefics like Jupiter and Venus should never get weakened, which means a horoscope cannot be considered to be lucky if either one of them is weakened, driving them to lose their ability to function and thereby losing their strength. Under these circumstances, it would be a great blessing if Venus and Jupiter undergo parivartana, mutual exchange, as the threesome, Sun, Mercury and Venus would always be proximal to each other. Mercury and Venus would frequently undergo ashanatha, combustion. It is an astrological tenement that the planets in combustion would lose their strength. Our scriptures are united in excluding Mercury alone from the ashanatha or ashamana unfavorable effects due to combustion, but there are differences in the ideologies on the assignment of ashamana to Venus, with some in favor and some against. But if Venus has attained parivartana, while in ashamana, then he would regain the lost strength. Parivartana is nothing but the mutual placement of 2 planets in each other's house. Vedic astrology regards this configuration to be very lucky. Parivartana of planets that are destined to benefit the mankind like Jupiter and Venus would result in awarding ownership status to both. The weakening effects due to placement in hidden houses would also get nullified, and instead they would be capable of bestowing benefits to the native as though being in their own house. At the same time, it is a basic astrological rule that any yoga will give results only during the dasu of the concerned planet. Parivartana is also not an exception to this rule. Some sukshma, intricate, special status and yogas do not give results in bhakti but are effective only during the dasu of the planet. The reason behind this fact is that the lords of the bhaktis that are the parts of the dasu are bound by the dasu lord. The lord of the bhaktis cannot operate independently, overruling the dasu lord. If the dasu lord is the king, then the lord of the bhakti is just a minister. In any dasu, the lord of the dasu is the powerful leader. As an example, if the lord of dasu could be considered to be the proprietor in a firm, then the lord of the bhakti could be personified as the manager and that of the anthara would function as the worker in the firm. Hence, if a planet does not attain power by direct means but gains sukshma, intricate, power implicitly with parivartana yoga, then as the lord of the bhakti, he would be unable to function beyond the dasa lord. Only during his dasa or his reign would he be able to bestow his significations in entirety to the native. When Venus is associated with his friend Mercury, he would give completely favorable results without any shortfall. A debilitated Mercury in association with an exalted Venus in Pisces would result in glorification of Mercury by Venus to make him strong, even while Venus is getting weakened. This is referred to by Mahapurusha Kalidasa that any planet getting associated with a debilitated planet gets only 0 strength. Venus's association with Saturn, his yet another friend, would glorify Saturn while weakening self. Under such circumstances, if Saturn has attained subadhuva, beneficence, by other means too, then the entire dasa of Saturn would be very rewarding while the Venus dasa would only bestow average results. When he is associated with Rahu, whom he considers as his friend, the results would be the same as with Saturn. At the same time, the weakening of Venus would be proportionally dependent on the proximity of association with Rahu. Mixed results could be expected when Venus is associated either with Sun or Moon. He would give contradicting results when associated with Mars. When combined with Mars, Venus would lose his status and get weakened completely. This is like a female surrendering or losing herself totally to a valiant male. That too, when the association with Mars happens when Venus is in inimical or debilitated state, he would ensure that the native is bereft of the natural tendencies of Venus. I have indicated in the first chapter that Venus should not be associated with Jupiter. Association with Ketu is not bad. Artistic faculties, music, dance, beautiful women, sense of beauty, television, restaurant business, nice house, virgin girl, wealth, painting, sculpture, barber, items used by ladies, not so useful things, splendor, textiles, gambling, marriage, entertaining games, happiness, youthful pulse, love, luxurious vehicle, pleasure from women, sperm, lust, extravagance, jewels, ship, poetry, literature, cinema, sexual activities, private parts, worshipping female deity, new dress, white-colored objects, wife, flowers, youth, attraction, cosmetic items, ornamental things, water-related, silver, vehicles, profit through women, eye, beauty, southeastern direction, becoming emotional, swimming, young age, musical instruments, color, perfumes, diamond, sour taste, lots of money, Brahmins etc., would give profits. At the same time, if the Venus has lost its subadhuva, beneficence, and has become a malefic, all the attributes listed above would give contrasting negative results. Degree-wise explanations for exaltation and debilitation. Intricate details have been encrypted with respect to the degrees of highest exaltation and lowest debilitation aspects of planets. It would be difficult to explain the concept mathematically and with figures here. We can elaborate on the intricacies of the degrees of highest exaltation and lowest debilitation at some other occasion. Venus would be debilitated in the first 27 degrees of Virgo. Venus does not get weakened in that last 3 degrees of Virgo. We would be able to appreciate the aspects of lowest debilitation and highest exaltation only on the basis of experience with horoscopes. For example, when it is said that Sun is debilitated in Libra, to those born when it is in the first 20 degrees or up to the first 20 days after entry into Libra or until 20th of Apasi Tamil month, approximately between October 15th to November 15th, would he be weakened and lacking giving his significations. To those born after these days, Sun would certainly be powerful towards benefiting through his significations. This status can be assessed by comparing with known horoscopes. When predictions fail, if we look for excuses in calculation, we will be unable to resonate with the underlying intricacies on the degrees of highest exaltation and lowest debilitation as told by our saints. A successful astrologer is the one who immediately analyzes the reasons for failure and figures out why it has happened. For example, when a prediction is made on the presumption that Sun is debilitated and that fails, an astrologer, instead of finding lame excuses like Sun could have attained Nietzsche Banga by other means or been powerful in Navamsa, looks into the precise status of exaltation and debilitation as told by our saints. He would be able to correct himself and make accurate predictions. Remedies for Venus. When Venus is a benefic and is weakened, then a visit to offer prayers at Kanjanani Kumbakonam, on one of the days when the star of the day is same as the birth star, and also remain inside the temple for about 2.5 hours is beneficial. Offering prayers on a Friday at Srirangam, wherein my Lord Thiruvarangan is blessing in a lying down posture and remaining in the temple for a period of Muhurtha, 48 minutes. To those in Thondimandalam, that is, Chennai, Arulmayu Veliswara temple at Mangadu is a well-established Venus Sthalam, temple devoted for worship of Venus. Worshipping here every Friday for 1 Azagai, 24 minutes, would increase the strength of Venus. The Veliswara temple situated in Chennai Mylapore is also an ancient Venus Sthalam, temple devoted for the worship of Venus. All the temples in Tamil Nadu with a primary nomenclature as Veliswaran are medial sites for worship of Venus. When there are obstacles due to Venus while residing in countries outside India without feasibility for visiting any of the remedial sites, then on Fridays between 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. during the Venus Hora, offer a white fancy dress, jasmine flowers, 1 silver coin, little curd, 2 handfuls of mokai, field beans, and 1 perfume in a silver or stainless steel plate to a young virgin girl. The girl should be very young and necessarily a virgin, hence I am specifying that she should be very young, between the ages of 15 and 16. When Venus is favorably disposed, this offering should not be made. When Venus is in a weak disposition leading to delayed marriage or denial of marital pleasures, his grain, white mokai, field beans, should be placed beneath the pillow every Friday for about 20 weeks, and then the 20 packets should be collected and be dispersed in the well, pond, river or sea depending on the placement of Venus in immovable or fixed or dual signs. This would nullify the dosh or maleficence due to Venus.